What's up, everyone? And so today we are doing a reading for Why Do People Fall in Love with You? This is going to be the third and last installment of the Valentine's Day themed readings I've been doing. And I'm pretty stoked on it. I love these kinds of readings. Um, anyway, as I was saying, we're going to be reading for Why Do People Fall in Love with You? We're going to have 4 piles. And pile number 1 is going to be the 6 of Spades. Pile number 2 is going to be the 5 of Clubs. Pile number 3 is going to be the Jack of Hearts. And pile number 4 is going to be the 9 of Hearts. Alright. And for the collective, we've got the 6 of Clubs. People see you guys as very, very admirable. I'm getting that you seem larger than life to a lot of the people who develop romantic feelings for you. Very, very strong victor energy. The 6 of Clubs is indicative of the 6 of Wands, which is the victor card. People just see you as a winner. And I'm hearing they want to be on the winning team. People fall in love with you because who you are is a winner, collectively. So, as I was saying, piles are going to be pile number 1 and the 6 of Spades, pile number 2 and the 5 of Clubs, pile number 3 and the Jack of Hearts, pile number 4 and the 9 of Hearts. Give it a second. Sorry, I have to read it like that, guys. Alright, we're starting off with pile number 1 and the 6 of Spades. So already what I'm getting is that you bring people peace. There's a certain, you're just very, I'm seeing, the Temperance card in my head with, an actual angel, traditionally, right? And people see you as, an earth angel, and they fall in love with your vibe. They fall in love with how your temperament is, too, is what I'm getting. You bring peace to people's lives. I'm hearing that it can be kind of, you might have issues with, codependency. Not on your end, necessarily, but, issues with people becoming really codependent on you or becoming, really, really obsessed with your energy. It's because you bring peace to people's lives. Especially people, I'm getting, who are rather high-strung. You're a very good friend. You're likely someone who deals very often with, your friends falling for you or your friends developing feelings for you. I'm hearing they can't help it. It might be hard. It might be difficult for you to find, solid, or it may have in the past been difficult for you to find, solid relationships as far as friendships go. Because your friends kind of end up falling for you every time. Alright. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? Why do people fall in love with you? Alright, and we've got the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you bring fire to people's lives. You fire them up is the better way to say that. You fire people up. You encourage people to be better. You encourage people to, actually take control of their lives. The Queen of Wands is indicative of Aries energy. We're talking right at the front energy. You're very progressive as well. I'm feeling, Aquarian vibes on top of it. You're very innovative, might be the right word. You're creative with your problem solving. People look to you as kind of a natural leader. And people kind of naturally idealize you because of the image that they kind of build up around you. You might have issues with people like assuming that they know you better than they actually do when they've really only gotten like a taste. Your energy is just so intoxicating. There's just so much like power that comes with it. I'm getting that people can become really obsessed with it. Cleansing might be something that helps you out in your day-to-day life, like cleansing yourself, cleansing your home. I'm hearing cleansing your bed, like the bed you sleep on, even like your pillows, especially if you've been having trouble sleeping lately. You might be someone who attracts things like energy vampires, you know what I mean? Like fire will draw all kinds of things. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. I'm hearing that you've gotten better throughout your life at reading people because you've had to, because maybe you've put your faith in people who genuinely just did not deserve it. And we've got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is the new Lovers card too. There's definitely a sense here that people just they fall in love with you at first sight. Like, I'm hearing that there are people who couldn't even tell you why they feel the way they feel about you. They just know that they feel really intensely about you at first, and then they get to know you, or they build up a whole vision of you in their heads. Like, either way, you're such an easy person to fall in love with. I'm also getting that you're very generous with the actual like pouring of the cup into the saucer. Like, I'm hearing that you're very, very generous on top of everything else. You might be considered a natural flirt. Like, you may have heard or been accused of being a natural flirt at one point or another in your life. When in actuality, it's just that you're a really, really fiery person. I'm hearing that you're not afraid to be authentic. And authenticity can often mean just being kind to people as a default, assuming that they will be kind to you back. You know what I mean? And there are a lot of people who don't operate that way. So when exposed to that level of kindness, I'm hearing that people, especially people who really need the support, they latch on to you really, really thoroughly. Again, cleansing might be water cleansing specifically, like just like washing your hair, washing your body, or taking like a spiritual bath. Incense would also work too, to like smoke out the house. But like, I'm feeling water, especially with the way that the way that the sake is being poured from the cup into the saucer. Like, there's a sense here that you should focus on self-care. As a complete side note, I get the feeling that you're a person who gives and gives and gives. This is part of why people fall in love with you, because you are so generous in how you give. But you can't give from an empty cup. You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And you can't put everyone else's needs in front of your own. Just as like a side note, that felt like a message that you really needed to hear. And we've got the Nine of Swords. You ease people's nightmares. Again, if you've been having trouble sleeping recently, especially, know that it's likely because, or at least in part due to someone's energy being really thoroughly latched onto you. Possibly multiple people's energies being really thoroughly latched onto you. You're a very easy person to fall in love with. And the way that she's sitting on like a throne there and wrecking Oedipus's family's life in the process while she divines what's going to happen to them, people are rather awestruck by you. They're very, very intrigued by the kindness that comes out of you, because I'm hearing if people looked like you, they would be horrible people. Like, and they know it. Like, not as like a jab or anything. Like, they're aware of it. They would take advantage of how they look if they looked like you. Like, people think that you are gorgeous. People think that you are ideal. There's a sense of like putting you up on a pedestal and really really putting weight into the things that you say, because people respect you in your opinion. If you're openly magical or openly mystical, spiritual at all, you're likely someone who, if you haven't been doing it for a long time, you're very, very in tune with your spirituality and your practices. And people admire that about you. There are a lot of people who look up to you like that. I'm hearing that like there are people who would really love to be mentored by you in that kind of capacity. Like people who would genuinely love to just be able to watch you work, because it seems like you kind of navigate your way through life, if not easily, according to a pattern. You know what I mean? Like it looks like you know what you're doing, to the point where like people don't need to ask if you're okay anymore, because intuitively you always seem to be going in the right direction. Instead, people come to you now to ask for your advice. You're likely someone who people, the way that they went to the oracle, you're likely someone who people go to ask advice from. And you give excellent advice. People fall in love with you because you're a really giving person. You're a very giving person. You have, I'm hearing, so much opportunity to not be giving and to not be kind. And you choose to be giving and you choose to be kind regardless of that fact. It is something that just, you're so gorgeous from the inside out even. I'm hearing that you like glow when you're at your best. Like there's just a fire inside of you that glows. You are at your best when you're at your most authentic, and you're kind of just weaving your way intuitively through life and like spreading love as you go. I'm hearing that people fall in love with your tenacity and with your resilience. It's likely that you have been taken advantage of before or treated poorly before by people who you really cared about. Especially if you're open about those kinds of experiences, people really look up to you for how you handled it. Like, especially if you didn't have support while everything was going on, like, people really admire how you were able to handle yourself when you really needed to. You're a strong person. You're an incredibly strong person. And people see that in you. People are very aware of that. It makes them fall in love. You're the kind of person who people fall in love with at a first glance. I'm hearing that it can draw jealousy sometimes, but it's just like the rule of the world, you know? You can't help that you're magnetic. And we've got the Nine of Wands. Yes, I can't remember her name, but in this story, she's sent to the Baba Yaga by her mother and her sisters because she's beautiful and they want to get rid of her for it because they're incredibly jealous of it. Like, there's definitely a sense here that you deal with jealousy, but you seem to take it in stride. You are not someone who's easy to rile up. People don't think that you're someone who's easy to get under the skin of, and it makes them fall in love. I'm hearing like enemies to lovers, even like there are even people in your life who you would consider like ops, but ultimately they admire how you do things. They can't help but begrudgingly acknowledge that you know what you're doing. You've been through a lot. The traditional Nine of Wands card depicts a royal guard who has a bandage over his head because he's clearly just been in some kind of skirmish, and he looks almost paranoid because he's waiting for something else to happen again. Like, you've been through quite a bit, and you've come out on the other side stronger, more resilient. People don't think they'd be able to handle the kind of life that you live, and it makes them fall in love. I'm hearing that you're a very intriguing person. You likely live some kind of alternative lifestyle, if not in how you work and just like how you operate. Like, you are likely alternative or like out of the ordinary, let's say. It draws the attention. It makes people fall in love. And you make people feel more comfortable being themselves. Your level of authenticity encourages other people to embrace their authenticity. There are people who want to be like you. There are definitely people out there who really want to be like you. It's highly complimentary, but it's also likely that you have dealt with, we'll go with copycat energy. I'm getting trendsetter. You're likely a trendsetter, whether you realize that or not. You're likely someone who, like, you'll start doing something and then you'll realize that it's like in vogue, it's like trending again somehow, like a couple months later. and suddenly it's no longer your thing because everyone's doing it. Like, you're ahead of the curve, and you have very good taste in basically everything. I'm hearing high value. You're a very high value person. It's intimidating. People find it to be very intimidating, especially romantic partners. Like, people who are interested in you romantically, they find it to be incredibly intimidating. I'm hearing that there are people who wonder, like, there are people who wonder what they could possibly have to offer you romantically, even. Like, you just seem to have such a good control on yourself, like hardcore Miss Independent, right? Like, and it makes people wonder what they could possibly bring to your life. Um, if you are someone who regularly goes through dry spells where like it feels like no one's paying attention to you, but like you can't help but feel like people are paying attention to you, know that people like there are definitely people, especially from your past, who try to haunt like your social medias, potentially try to see you out in public, or at least hope that they see you out in public. These same energies that are likely really attached to you right now, that are making it hard for you to sleep, perhaps. And we've got the Seven of Cups. People don't know what they're going to get with you. You're very, very grab bag. And I'm hearing that that's not necessarily your fault. Ultimately, I think you are a very steadfast person. I think people in general don't know how to deal with your level of independence. Like, again, you seem very high value yourself, so people assume, especially romantic partners, assume that you have very high standards for them as well. And it is very off-putting, to say the absolute least, when people are trying to figure out what they could offer you, and they keep coming up short because you're someone who seems to be able to do everything yourself. Whether you want that or not, I'm definitely getting that like it can be tiresome always having to be like always having to save yourself basically because people expect it of you. Like, you're someone who might need to ask for support, but I'm also getting that you're someone who likely doesn't like asking for support. You know what I mean? Very, very independent. People absolutely love that about you. People take what you say to heart as well. Like, even people who are out of your life, I'm getting like people who like you had huge falling outs with, they still think of your advice. They still remember the things that you told them. They have memories of you that they'll never be able to shake. They they're just too important. The memories themselves are too important. I'm hearing that you're a very good teacher too. Again, I think I said earlier that there are people who would love to be mentored by you. Like, you're a very good teacher. You're very patient. If you yourself would not consider yourself patient, know that there are other people who definitely think that you're a patient person. And know that there are also people who, with the Seven of Cups, there are people who they stay away from you because of the options that you have. You're a very intimidating presence, and people see that you're going places in life. And again, that can be very, very intimidating for people, especially people who are insecure in themselves. Like, that kind of thing is how you tend to trigger jealousy in people who feel like they're not doing as well as you are, who feel like they don't have the options that you have. You know what I mean? And we've got the Lover's card at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we were just talking about options. The Lover's card is indicative of choices as well. People just think that you have choices, mad choices, especially romantically. And if you don't, then it's because people are likely being kept off of your path. I'm getting that you're very heavily spiritually protected. You're coming through here as the Oracle of Delphi, surrounded by her cavern and the 9 swords. You know what I mean? It's even at the exact center of your 5-card spread. There's definitely a sense here that you are incredibly spiritually protected, regardless of what kind of spirituality that happens to manifest as. I am hearing ancestral, though. At least some of you probably have very strong ties to your ancestors and like regularly try to communicate with them, or regularly find that you are communicating with them. The Lover's card is also indicative of the fact that people... The Lovers is Beauty and the Beast in this deck. It's depicted by Beauty and the Beast in this deck. People wonder whether or not they'll ever be able to match up to you. And I mean that in both, like, the jealous ways and the romantic ways. People who are romantically inclined towards you might not actually approach you because they feel like they can't measure up. They feel like you are on a far higher level than they are. And romantically, it's just intimidating. People aren't sure if you'll even want to give them a shot. And I'm hearing that people are really afraid of your rejection. You're coming off as a very, very kind-hearted soul. It's part of why people fall in love with you. And it's intimidating for a lot of people. Like, being rejected by you or having harshness come out of you would be so out of character that it would be their fault, basically. Like, people are, especially romantic partners, are very much... You might have to deal with being the first person to make... You might have to deal with being the person to make the first move regularly when it comes to things like romantic inclination. You ooze confidence, though. That's definitely coming through here. Very strong. And it draws people to you. People are just magnetically drawn to you. You're very attractive, and you're very attractive inside and out. You have this very lovely glow about you that people are just kind of drawn to. Alright. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? Alright, and we've got the sweetheart. Yeah, like, you're a massive sweetheart. People fall in love with you for your big heart. People are... The way that the Beauty is holding the Beast there. Like, people trust you to be gentle with them regardless of who they are. You make people feel seen. You make people feel important. You make people feel like they matter. And they walk away from meeting you feeling like that meeting has changed something inside them. And we've got the Room. Yeah, there's definitely someone... The Room came up right over the Nine of Swords. There's definitely someone who's thinking about you, especially at night. I'm getting someone, for a lot of you, it's going to be an ex. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. This is just someone who has been losing sleep over how your relationship ended, over how they lost you, I'm hearing, or how everything came to a grinding halt. You are very important in this person's life, and they cannot stop thinking about you in their private time. When they're alone, right before bed, when they're closing their eyes to sleep, I'm hearing that you're still the last thing that these people think about. And it certainly is... I'm getting it can be overwhelming, not just for them, but for you. Like, again, there's this, like, very strong energy attached to yours that's likely been interrupting your sleep. I think I've already said this, but cleansing would be a really, really good idea if you've been having trouble sleeping lately, or if you've been having trouble with, like, racing thoughts, and that's not normal for you. If you feel energetically like there is someone attached to you, cleansing is an excellent, excellent idea. And we've got the Fortune card. Luck be a lady tonight. Yeah, people think you're lucky. People, let's rephrase that. People find that they are luckier when in your orbit. You bring luck to people. And I'm hearing that you take it away from people too, and not even on purpose. You're very heavily spiritually protected. When people treat you badly, it's likely that bad things happen to them. Very noticeably so. There are likely people who have pieced together the fact that, like, there's a pattern of people who treat you badly, ultimately ending up in horrible places. Like, luck follows you around, whether it's coming or going. You know what I mean? People realize that they are a lot luckier when they're around you. And they fall in love with it. They fall in love. I'm hearing that you make people feel you make people feel like they can fall in love with themselves. Like I'm guessing that it's very, very overwhelming, but you're likely somebody who people people kind of idealize you, and like manic pixie dream girl energy is coming through here really hard. Like people fall in love with your energy and become very, very intoxicated by all of the good things that come along with it. You are rewarded for how you are living your life, and people in your orbit tend to catch that reward as well. And we've got cheerfulness, and you're the life of the party. What a lovely note to end the reading on. You're the life of the party. People absolutely love having you around. Your friends absolutely adore you. Again, I think I've already mentioned this, but you probably have issues or have had issues in the past with your friends falling for you. Like, it's it is overwhelming, to say the least, but you also can't really help being the kind of glowing person that you are. And frankly, you shouldn't take pride in how amazing you are. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm so sorry. I'm stuttering so much through this reading, and it's only the first pile. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we are on pile number 2 with the 5 of Clubs. Now, the 5 of Clubs is indicative of 5 of Wands energy. So already I'm getting that, well, one, you might deal with like jealous, possessive people, or have dealt with people who are just a little bit possessive of you and your time. But it also lets me know that you have secret admirers. Like, there are people who are fighting for you in the background. The 6 of Wands popping out right when I said that. Look at all of the people in the background that you can't even see because she's on her horse riding through and she's the only one that matters. Like, there are a lot of people who admire the hell out of you, and you have a lot of very secret romantic admirers. Strong Aquarius vibes. If you're not big on social media, then you are a lot more popular in your community. Even if you are big on social media, like, you're a lot more popular in your community than you really realize, I'm hearing. The 10 of Wands popped out, however, so you might be aware of the fact that you're a little bit in high demand. I'm getting that you're a really hard worker. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to do what needs to be done. You're a very, very, I'm hearing tough cookie. All right. What more can we know, please, about about why people fall in love with you? Why do people fall in love with you? All right, and we've got the Knight of Cups with that really romantic energy. There's something very poetic about you. I'm getting that you're someone who would make a really good artistic muse if you haven't already been someone's artistic muse. You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of energy that people write poems about. You are a very romantic being, is what I'm hearing. You're also very physically attractive. I'm hearing almost ethereal, like mystical, almost like fairy. Think fairy almost. Like, there's something very special about how you are attractive and how you wear your looks. Something very, very specific to you. I'm getting that there's a possibility that you might deal with copycat energies. Like, you might deal with people jacking your ideas and not giving you any kind of credit for it, or anything like that. You know what I mean? know that it's really obvious to people when when they do that. Like, you're a trendsetter. You come off as a strong trendsetter. When people mimic you, it's obvious to the people around it's obvious to the people around what's going on. Often imitated, never duplicated. No one can be you. And the sad reality of the fact is that there are people who really need to learn that lesson. Yeah, definitely strong jealousy energies, not just of you, but over you as well. You might be someone who dealt with, like, not even just romantic partners, but like friends who didn't like to share you. I'm getting that people get a little bit intoxicated by your energy, and Piscean is like really deep, right? The Knight of Cups is indicative of Pisces. Very deep, very emotional. People get caught up in the waves of your energy and they can't help it. They want all of that to themselves. And if they can't get it to themselves, they want to be able to mimic you. Like, I'm getting that you deal with these kinds of people a lot. Cleansing might be a good idea. Cleansing. It's been a while since I've recommended cleansing on my videos so much. I recommended cleansing a ton on the last pile as well. But if you've been having trouble focusing lately, and if you've been feeling agitated or anxious, cleansing is an excellent choice for you. I'm getting that you don't realize that there are people who are fighting over you right now. Like, there are people who are vying for your attention. There are people who really want you to notice them right now. And I'm getting that this is all kind of going on in the background. You might be going through this period in your life actually that you're kind of in hermit mode. You know what I mean? But just because you are in hermit mode doesn't mean that the people around you have stopped trying to beat each other out to be yours. Yeah, the Three of Cups. Look at them gossiping over drinks and stuff. Like, people are talking about you right now. You're being brought up in rooms that you've never even been to, I'm hearing. Like, I'm getting that, like, friend groups are interested in you even. Like, you cause contention. If your DMs have been dry, if your texts have been dry, that's likely part of the reason. Like, people just are staying away because it's a lot of drama, actually. Like, there are multiple people from the same friend group who are really into you. And we've got the Three of Wands. Yeah, not that you really seem to care that anyone's into you like that, though. You seem very, very intent on your own mission, very straightforward. People love that about you, too. You're a very, very reliable person, is what I'm hearing, especially when you believe in something. The way that both of these figures are, like, looking forward, well, she's looking up, but, like, forward and away while they're in a circle talking to each other, like, the longer it takes for someone to approach you, the higher you get on your journey, and the less likely it is that they'll catch up. And I I think that there are just friend groups who are forever going to be in the dark about whether or not you'd even give any of them a chance. You might be someone who's dealt with your friends falling in love with you too, like, for your friends catching feelings for you or confessing their love to you at really awkward moments. Like, it might be difficult for you to just have friends. You're an incredibly lovable person. Like, you come off as someone highly romantic. And I'm hearing that people think you deserve the best. Like, you hold yourself with confidence. If you don't think you're holding yourself with confidence, know that the way that you hold yourself, everyone believes that you are confident in who you are. Especially if you're used to alternative lifestyles, especially if you're used to being the only one in the room looking, talking, acting like yourself. You're still authentic, you're still exactly who you are, and you're still looking ahead and looking up. You know what I mean? You will continue to level up. And if these people don't level up with you, then none of them will ever get a shot. The Ten of Coins. People do want to build whole legacies with you, though. I'm hearing on the winning team. Like, people want to be on your team. They want to grow old with you. I'm hearing that Adam Sandler song from The Wedding Singer. Wouldn't it be nice to grow old with you? Like, there are people who really would love to have a whole legacy with you. I'm hearing that you're good with kids. If you don't like kids, you're still like kind to children. Um, or at the very least, you're capable of sucking it up and not being terrible to children. And people find your gentle touch to be really admirable. People, especially people who have kids of their own. Um, you're someone who people aren't afraid to let around their children or wouldn't be afraid to let around their children. You're a very reliable, responsible human being, and you're very, very in control of yourself from everything that I can see. And so people trust you to be around their kids, and their kids seem to like you as well. There's definitely someone out there that wants a really serious relationship with you, though, like a marriage with kids, like a whole family, a whole traditional setup. There's definitely at least one person out there who's very, very much into the idea of spending their life with you. The Four of Wands, the honeymoon card. There's someone out there who is set on the idea of spending their life with you. For some of you, this is going to be your partner. Like, you're already with this person. If that's the case, understand that they love you, they adore you, and they really want to grow old with you. If that's not the case, you just have a secret admirer. I'm getting that you have multiple secret admirers, though. Like, people who can see you being there happily ever after. Messed up my whole deck trying to shuffle them right. You've definitely been through a lot. I'm hearing especially with romantic partners and friends. Like, you're likely someone, or you may be someone who has dealt with gossip in your lifetime, following you around, people like purposefully misunderstanding you or misrepresenting you. You know what I mean? Looking for threads to pull. When ultimately I'm getting that, and this always sounds so corny, but it's the reality of the situation. They'll never be happy as long as they're excessively jealous of you. There's never going to be a point where you aren't who you are and they aren't capable of being who you are. So you may have had issues with other relationships in your past, and people love you because you came out of it. You're coming out of it. The Three of Wands is at the exact center of the 5-card spread right now. You're coming out of it. You're in the process of leaving the darker place that you got thrown to. You're a very brave person, and you're very, very resilient. The Ace of Cups and the Lovers, a new love, and the literal Lovers card. Romance is on its way to you for sure. Regardless of what that means, there's definitely someone out there who is getting ready to take the shot. Maybe they were inspired by Valentine's Day. That was just yesterday for me. This reading is timeless, but... Alright. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? We've got the Chariot. You're not afraid, and the Chariot comes up right over the Knight of Cups. You're not afraid. You're not afraid of work. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to keep moving forward. I'm hearing that you're very innovative. People would love to pick your brain and find out how you think. It seems almost like magic. Like, you seem to just kind of get led. The way that Pisces can get lost in the deep, like, you just seem to get lost in your own head sometimes, and people would kill to know what you're thinking and how you're thinking it. Like, especially if you're creative of any sort, you put stuff out and you might not think it's great. It might make you feel like you're not doing the best that you could be doing, but people adore it. Like, people love what you do. People find it to be really admirable, to the point where there are people who are jealous of your talents. Keep moving forward and you will find the success that you're looking for. These two are even facing in the same direction, which is away from the other cards right now. Like, you're in the very midst of a transformative period right now, and there are a lot of people who love how you've been handling yourself. They fall in love with you for the way that you handle yourself through bad situations. And we've got the King of Coins with that Taurus energy. You make people feel abundant. You make people feel very abundant. And I'm getting that you're very generous with your time, with your energy, and with your money. Like, you're a generous person. And it's likely that, like, it's likely that these talents and these traits have been taken advantage of before. And that's why you're coming up as having, like, so much jealousy surrounding you. Again, cleansing would be in your best interest, I think. Smoke cleansing specifically comes to mind, actually, for this pile. And we've got the Nine of Cups. May all your dreams come true. You seem like the perfect mate for a lot of people. A lot of people view you as the ideal mate, as the end goal, the end goals, you know what I mean? If you've ever heard while you're in a couple that, like, you guys look so cute together, you guys are you're just so good together, like, know that you bring up the value of anyone who you're in the vicinity of. Not that the people around you aren't baddies too, but, like, you bring up the value of the people who are around you with the aura that you have. You seem to have a really great aura. And Temperance coming out. And Temperance coming out right over the Ten of Coins. You're very patient. You're definitely a very patient person. And if you're not actually patient, if you don't identify as being patient, know that people think that you're patient. You come off very strongly as being someone who's willing to wait. It makes people think that you'd be really good with kids, by the way. There's definitely a person out there who wants a very traditional family with you. And the fact that you are so good with taking care of other people makes them feel like you would be the ideal mate. Like, there's so many people who feel like you would be the ideal mate. And we've got the Fool card. But ultimately, they're afraid that they'll never be able to catch you. You've got your own thing going on. The Fool card is also pointing a different way. Like, there are couples in the cards that I pulled, but ultimately, especially at the beginning, like, you're facing away from the rest of the cards. You're moving forward. You're moving into your future. The people who care about you, they love seeing your transition. They love seeing your growth because you are growing. If you haven't noticed that yet, know that soon you will. Know that soon you'll be through the transformation and you'll realize on the other side just how much everything's changed with you. And we've got the Lovers card at the bottom of the deck. There is someone who's down bad for you. At least one person. It might be more than one person, but at least one person is trying to get up the nerve to talk to you. They'd feel like a beast to your beauty, though, is what I'm hearing. Regardless of how you or them identify, they feel like they're the one that's not living up to... My cat is 10 pounds and manages to make himself so big that he knocks all of my stuff over every time. Anyway, sorry. They feel like they're not on your level. I'm getting for some of you, this is a person who you, like, knew before, too. Like, this is a person from, like, your formative years, or people from your formative years who knew you back then and are still really interested in you. And afraid to approach you. People are definitely afraid to get in your way, and they're afraid of being rejected by you. No one wants to be rejected by you. Alright, what more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? Why do people fall in love with you? Alright, and we've got the Child. Someone wants to have a family with you. For some of you, this is going to be a partner that you're already with. Like, for sure, for some of you at least, this is going to be a partner that you're already with. know that your partner absolutely adores you, wants the whole world with you and for you. Um, the child coming out just doubles down on this though. Like, there's someone who definitely wants to have like kids and a family with you, someone who thinks that you'd be a really, really great partner to like grow old with. And consolation, you make people feel better. Consolation coming up right over the Three of Cups, by the way. Again, I feel like you were a really good friend to people who ultimately were not a really good friend to you. You are a very reliable person, I'm getting, and a very consistent person. And you care about the people who you care about. So it makes sense that you would be consoling people during their times of need. You've likely been there for people to support them, and then lost, they just seem to disappear when you needed their support. If that's the case, know that these people regret it. You have done, I'm hearing, so much better without them. Like, you have managed to get to a place in your life where they can't even catch up, is how it feels. Know that they regret losing you. Romantic, friendship, even family. Just, they think about it. They definitely think about how they messed up, and they think about the fact that they lost such an important person to them. And we've got the sweetheart. Because you are ultimately a sweetheart, right at the middle of the spread too. You're ultimately a very sweet person. People see your big heart and they want to indulge in it. They want to get to know you better. Oh, you have so many secret admirers. That's what keeps coming out here. You're just a really lovable person. You're a very easy person to fall in love with, I'm hearing. Especially if you're a creative, the work that you put out seems to reflect you. People really love seeing what you do and how you're making and how you're doing things. Like, and I'm getting that you're not, I'm hearing that you're adaptable. The word adaptable keeps coming through. You're really good at changing in accordance to what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Like, people really admire you because you can be a very, very stern, in control person, but your default is still to be a sweetheart. Even after everything that you've been through, even after all of the people who may or may not have taken advantage of you, like, you still manage to be soft. If it'll keep my heart soft, break my heart every day. I love that poem by Worcestershire. It's on my arm. Like, and that's the energy that's coming through here. Like, you are a very, very kind person unless given a reason not to be. And you still recover from all of those reasons really thoroughly. You're still the kind of person who would give people a chance. You're still the kind of person who cares about other people, despite how other people have cared about you. Know that you'll be rewarded for it. In this lifetime, you will find material abundance. Anyone who was taken out of your life, regardless of how hard it was, they weren't meant to be there. You're very, very, you have a destiny, I'm hearing. Like, you have a place that you're going, you have things that you're going to do. And people falling out of your life, especially if, how do I put this? People falling out of your life, especially if it was a bridge burned, like, they weren't meant to be there. And now you're going to see just why. You're going to start leveling up. You're going to start getting things. You're going to start moving and grooving. You know what I mean? And there are people who are just going to be on the outside looking in the whole time. People who remember you as the sweet, amazing person that they made be terrible. That they made not be sweet. You know what I mean? Like, not terrible, but like. And we've got frivolity. Oh, frivolity coming up right over the Temperance card as well. And right over the Ten of Coins. Two separate messages. Frivolity and the Temperance card. You have very good intuition. You seem to be able to move through your life in a very, very graceful way. People definitely admire that about you. Earth angel energy. People definitely feel like you're a God's favorite earth energy kind of person. Earth angel energy kind of person. Frivolity and the 10 of coins, however, the people who are your secret admirers, they don't they don't feel like they measure up. They feel like it's a daydream, like it's folly to think that they could be with you one day. And I mean, if they never approach you, then that's the case. Oh, you've got fans. You've got a lot of fans is what it is. And we've got sorrow. You're really good at comforting people. Again, just sorrow matches the consolation card. Like, you're very good at comforting people, and you're very good at taking care of the people who you care about. It's unfortunate that that has been taken advantage of, but know that there's much better things ahead of you. Much better things ahead of you. You will be rewarded for cutting toxic people out of your life and putting your foot down. And we've got the surprise card at the bottom of the deck. 2 separate messages. 1, a surprise is on its way to you sometime soon. And 2, people are very shocked when they get to know you. I'm getting that you have a really, really strong aura about you, and you kind of seem like a person on a mission. So people are surprised when they meet you, and you're this very caring, very, very empathetic person. You catch people off guard. Why did I keep saying on? Anyway, you catch people off guard with how many multitudes to you they are. There are people who would love to know you better, be in your inner circle, just know your story outside of what you're willing to tell people. You know what I mean? You have a lot of admirers who want to know more about you. And people love you for it. There are people who are falling in love with the way that you live your life. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was entertaining. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we are on pile number 3 with the Jack of Hearts. Now, the Jack of Hearts is indicative of Knight of Cups energy, and the Knight of Cups is indicative of Piscean energy. Already what I'm getting separately from these cards that just popped out, you're a dreamer. You're a strong dreamer. There's something very, very fairy-like about your energy almost. Like, you give off a very ethereal vibe. And much like a love potion, it makes people fall in love with you. People absolutely adore watching how you live your life and watching how you move your way through life. It seems almost predestined and like you're following completely blind. Ultimately, you have very good intuition. People love seeing that intuition put into action. The 3 of Wands, the Fool, the Lovers, and the 10 of Pentacles. You are an incredibly easy person to love. An incredibly easy person to love. You might deal with being accused of being like a natural flirt or anything like that. You're just a very kind-hearted person. And it comes through, it shines in everything that you do. The Lovers and the 10 of Coins together definitely indicates that there's someone who wants to have a very serious relationship with you. If you are in a relationship already, your partner absolutely adores you and likely wants to take it to the next level. And if you're not in a relationship, know that there are people out there who would love to be in a relationship with you. Even if you have a partner, I'm getting the sense that there are people who are exceptionally jealous of your partner. The 3 of Wands and the Fool, the way she's climbing out of her hole, and the way that the mermaid is staring straight ahead, presumably towards land and her prince. You know what I mean? She might have made traditionally not the best choice, but she still took her destiny into her hands and made it happen, and ultimately won her happily ever after because she was a strong, strong person. She, climbing straight out of a hole, mirrors that energy perfectly. You are someone who is incredibly resilient. People have seen you get knocked down. People have seen you get up every single time. There are a lot of people who admire you. I'm getting that your name has been spoken in rooms that you'll never know. Like, there are people who just really admire you, especially if you're open about your story, especially if you are any kind of activist. Flip back over before I could see it. Especially if you're any kind of activist, teacher, mentor. All right. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? Yeah, intoxicating. The word intoxicating just keeps coming to mind. There are definitely people out there who are very addicted to your energy. And there are people who are just fans. Like, you have a lot of fans. You might not realize that. I'm getting the sense that you don't really realize that, but you have a lot of fans. All right. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? All right, and we've got the Two of Coins popping out. People fall in love with you because you're capable of balancing everything in your life. You seem so strong and independent. You just seem like you're capable of doing it all. And I'm getting that you're one of those people who, like, you have really unusual talents, or like you have like party tricks that you can do. Like, you just come off as a super cool person, and you end up, and you're capable of like handling your shit on top of all of it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get sloppy while you're out. You don't bring your life to work. You're very good at keeping balance. You're very good at finding balance to the scales. You know what I mean? Your private and your public life separate. Your creative side and your logical side separate. You are really, really good at how you handle things. And it makes people absolutely love you. It makes people admire you to the point of love. Like, you are a badass. You do a lot of things. Like, you've managed to get through a lot in life, and you've managed to take skills from it along the way. You're a badass. People fall in love with that energy. Even if it's second nature to you and you don't realize just how cool it is. Like, there are definitely people in your life, or people who would love to be in your life, who would love that. And we've got the Ace of Cups. So between the Ace of Cups and the Mama Bear, there is a sense here that you take care of people. You're very, very good at caring for people. Make sure that your cup is never empty itself. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely the sense here, even with how she's looking, like, she's handling everything, but she does look like she's at her wit's end. Make sure to take care of yourself. Make sure that self-care is something that you prioritize. It is amazing to have a big heart. It's amazing to want to help people. It's amazing to have a big enough heart that you want to go out and help other people, whether they're people who you know or people who you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you have a very big heart. Make sure that that heart is taken care of too. And we've got the 10 of Wands. There's definitely someone who misses you. There's someone who's pining after you right now. I'm getting that it might not be romantic. For a lot of you, it's going to be romantic, though, but there's definitely someone pining after you right now. And they're thinking of everything that you've ever told them. The way that the tree is growing out of that skull's head, like towards the side, they're thinking of everything that you've ever told them. And they're coming to really harsh realizations, I'm hearing. Like, for some of you, this happened like a long time ago. Like, it's been years, and they still haven't been able to keep you off their mind. And for others of you, this was more recent, and they're finally realizing that, like, it's permanent, it's over, you've moved on, you're ending things. And it's making them reflect on things and realize what happened. I'm getting God's favorite energy, in the sense that you bring karma to people. Like, if people are cruel to you, if people are mean to you, if people don't treat you correctly, then they face punishment for treating a bad person bad, or for treating a good person badly. You know what I mean? Like, this person can't help but watch you and reminisce on the memories that the two of you had together as you make new memories with everyone else. You know what I mean? There's definitely someone, however, who has been thinking about the things that you said to them and has been not stressing, but trying to grow from it. They're trying to take everything that you told them and grow from it, so maybe they might deserve to be in your orbit again one day. And we've got the Nine of Cups. You're a strong manifester. Definitely a strong manifester. I'm getting that you're also a really hard worker who will do whatever it takes to get what you want. Within reason, obviously, but you do whatever it takes to get what you want. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're not afraid to do extra work. You know what I mean? And it's rewarded in the sense of like manifestation. You have very, very strong manifestation energy here. You can make dreams come true, I'm hearing. And I'm hearing that for some people, you have made dreams come true for them. You're a very good friend. You're someone who is definitely worth having on your side. I'd rather be on your team than against it anyway. And we've got the King of Wands with the Phoenix and rebirth. You are capable of being reborn time and time again and getting better every time. You learn your lessons, and you've learned them quickly, frankly. Regardless of your age, this is very youthful energy. This is the energy of like starting over, you know what I mean? Starting over. The Six of Coins. This story specifically is about a woman who she was left behind because she was too old to keep up. And the bugs were coming, and I'm pretty sure she fed them or let them stay because she was on her way out of the world anyway. And because she was kind to these bugs, an Arctic fox came through and shredded her outer skin, so she was reborn younger again. Rebirth, just like the King of Wands. Like, you're definitely someone who is destined to go through a lot of transformations in this lifetime. And you're killing it. It's probably how you manage to juggle so many things at once. Yeah, the Two of Wands popping out. You're very good at making decisions. Very good at making decisions. I'm getting strong mama bear vibes too, regardless of how you identify. Oh. Sorry about that. I don't know when the last time I dropped my cards like that ever was. All right, what more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? The World and the Ace of Wands. People want to write lifetimes with you. Some of you might be very good dancers. I'm getting that some of you might be very good at like performing arts just in general. If that's the case, know that there are people who have fallen in love with you from your work. You're very, very talented, and there are people who recognize that. The Ace of Wands is all about creation. This is the paintbrush of creation. Like, people, I'm hearing that you might be someone who people say they've met in a past life before. You have a very, very unique soul, and it draws people to you, and it starts their chapters over again. They start over again. They want to start over to a point where they can deserve you. So I am getting that you are rather intimidating. There are people who, you're just very independent is what it seems like. You're very independent. You're very strong. You seem to know what you're doing. It makes potential romantic suitors and possibly friends as well both a little bit jealous and kind of anxious over what kind of level they need to be at to actually deserve you. You know what I mean? I'm getting that you're a really chill, laid-back person, though. I'm pretty sure that these people are blowing everything out of proportion. You seem like a very, very kind person. You just are capable of really telling someone off in a way that actually helps them grow. You know what I mean? All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? All right. And we've got the 10 of Swords. Yeah, right over the 2 of Coins. Definitely mama bear energy. You're willing to cut off people who don't treat you or yours right. Very loyal. You're an incredibly loyal person. And the Queen of Cups. And very strongly intuitive. And the Queen of Cups came out right over the Ace of Cups. You have a very strong intuition. And it does you well when you follow it, especially in the sense of like creativity or like relationships with people. You're very deep. You're a very deep thinker. You're very deep in how you live your life and how you theorize about the world. There are people who would love to hear you speak. Just period. End of story. They'd love to hear you speak. They'd love to suck up all of the things that you have to say. You might be someone who deals with copycat energies. If that's the case, know that what is imitated can never be duplicated. You're the original. It sucks when people don't give you credit for what you do, but at least take solace in the fact that you are the OG. And everyone knows it. It's very obvious. And we've got the Moon card. The Moon card coming up right over the 10 of Wands. There's definitely someone out there who's been thinking about you at night. If you've been having trouble sleeping or anything like that, I would definitely suggest cleansing your area. That's been the through line for all of the readings so far. Cleanse. We're back to cleansing. It's time to cleanse again. There's definitely someone who's thinking about you at night, though. And again, thinking about all of the things that you said to them and wondering whether or not they even have a chance. The Justice card. Right over the 9 of Cups. You get what you give out of life. You're a good person. And sometimes life might seem really hard, but ultimately good people do have balance to their scales given back. You give what you get. And because of that, because of how you live your life, you are rewarded with incredibly strong manifestation energy. The Justice card is all about getting what you gave. You know what I mean? Cosmic scales, balance. So sorry about that. That was a phone call I had to take. Anyway, as I was saying, you definitely have someone really, really thinking about you and thinking about the things that you said to them. And no, I'm not sure if they'll ever come back. Kaguta is facing away and this is a skull. I think this person comes off as a little bit too, I don't want to say cowardly, but that's kind of the word that comes to mind. Like, they don't want to risk you rejecting them. Again, I'm getting that things didn't end very well the first time. And we've got the Justice card. You get what you give. The Justice card coming up right over the 9 of Cups. You're in very strong manifestation energy right now. And the Phoenix right next to it with that fire. You are in incredibly strong manifestation energy right now. Be sure to watch what you put your energy into. If it's a waste of time, then if it's a waste of time, then don't waste your time, basically. You get what you give. Being a good person, being the kind of person that you are, has given you the kind of manifestation energy that you have. You're in a very, very special manifestation energy right here. I keep seeing the Magician card. All your dreams can come true. You're in a very powerful place right now, even if it doesn't feel like it. Know that you're very well spiritually protected. And we've got the 6 of Coins coming out right over the Phoenix. 2 rebirth cards. You do go through quite a bit of transformation. Likely very publicly. People have likely seen you go through very public transformations before. but you manage to keep soft, you manage to keep generous, you manage to keep your big heart through all of the lessons that you've learned, and that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we've got the Ace of Coins. You bring freshness to people's lives. People fall in love with you because you give them different perspective. You have very nice hair as well. Hair is standing out right now, if we're talking about physical features. But more than anything, I feel there's a strong, like, pixie energy here, like fairy energy. You come off as someone very ethereal, very mystical. Whether you do that on purpose or not. It's just kind of the vibe that you give off, you know what I mean? Alright. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? And we've got the Soldier popping out right away and landing right over the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. You are capable of doing what you need to do. You make the tough calls, you make the tough decisions, and it's because you have to, and you understand that. It's helped you grow, and I'm hearing for a lot of you, it's helped you survive even. You have very, very good instincts, and you're willing to back them up. You're willing to fight for what you believe in. It's incredibly admirable, and I'm getting that there are people who fell in love with you specifically because they realized you were right. Very hard enemies to lovers kind of thing. Like, there are definitely people who were your haters that turned into your fans just because they started realizing that, like, you deserve the admiration that you get, basically. And that you're not afraid to cut a bitch off. Like, I'm getting that at one point in your life you might have been a little bit of a people pleaser, and that might have led to people taking advantage of you. If that's the case, know that you're not someone to be messed with anymore. Your vibe is completely different. I'm getting that you are completely different from the times that people used to take advantage of your big heart. It's incredible that you managed to stay so empathetic through all of it. Lots of people wouldn't. And we've got the Sigh coming out. Yeah, because it's hard work. Look at her staring at the Soldier. It's hard work. You do the work. You're willing to put in the energy, and people watch you. People watch you evolve. People watch you change. Your self-motivation inspires people so much. And Melancholy coming out right over the Moon and the Ten of Wands. Someone is down bad. Yeah, someone is very, very down bad for you. They're doing well in their normal life, too. It's not like they're having, like, troubles in their normal life. They just miss you. They miss you, and they're not sure they'll ever get to see you again, basically. They'll never get to be in your orbit again. And we've got the Wedding, and the Wedding comes up right over the Nine of Cups and Justice. You get what you give, and there are people who would love to give you a formal wedding, a formal traditional home. There are people who want to take care of you. I am so sorry. That was another phone call I have to take. I promise, no more phone calls. Anyway, there are people, I'm getting more than one person. There's one person in particular who is very stuck on your energy because of something that you told them or the experiences that they had with you. But there are also lots of, like, secret admirers. You just have secret admirers. People admire you a ton. There are a lot of people who would love to take care of you, would love to get the chance to take care of you. And I'm getting prove themselves. People feel like they have to prove themselves to you. And the Sweetheart, because you kind of have it all. The Sweetheart coming out over the generosity of the Six of Cups and the rebirth of the King of Wands. Like, even through everything that you've been through, even through everything that you've done, you are a massive sweetheart as a default setting. I'm hearing that you're capable of protecting yourself, but you are a massive, massive sweetheart as, like, a default. I'm getting that you might deal with people thinking that you're not authentic, which is really frustrating. being a good person for no reason shouldn't cause people to be suspicious, but I am getting the sense that, like, you've maybe dealt with people like that before. People who think that you want something because you're being nice to them, or people who think that you're teasing them or something because you've given them a compliment. Like, ultimately, you've grown. You're so much more mature than your peers, regardless of how old you are, regardless of what that means. Like, you're a lot more mature than the people around you, I'm getting. And we've got the Scholar, Fortune, Money, and Haughtiness. So, fortune and money already, people see that you're going somewhere in life. You're definitely going to go somewhere in life. They see how hard you work. They see how creative you are, how incredibly your mind works, and people know that you're going to go far. You might have issues with people trying to ride your coattails all the way to success, in fact, because people are willing to bank on you, and they are willing to believe that you're going to go all the way. If you have imposter syndrome, understand that no one else thinks that you are an imposter. You have proven yourself, I'm getting, over and over again. And now people just can't shy away from the truth. The Scholar and Haughtiness. People think that you are, at a first glance, people think that you'd be stuck up. When they get to know you, they realize that that's not the case. When they get to know you, they realize that you're just, like, a very well-rounded person. But I am getting that, like, people assume that you'd be really, really haughty, really prideful about yourself, and prideful about vain. Vain is the word that's coming to mind. You catch people off guard. You surprise them with how sweet you are. And we've got Reunion. So definitely expect somebody to come through. Someone who has been thinking about everything that you've said to them for a long time now. And they want... I'm hearing they might want... I'm hearing they might want advice. They miss the advice that you used to give them. They miss the support that you used to give them. And they feel like they really need you right now. Do expect someone to reach out to you at some point. And it's totally, totally your own call if you want to reach back. And we've got Hope popping out. And the Hope pops out right over the Sweetheart card. Even through everything that you've been through, even through everything that's happened, you still manage to be an amazing, sweet person, and you still manage to keep the hope in everything. People fall in love with your outlook. They love the fact that you are indomitable, that your spirit cannot be broken. And we've got House at the bottom of the deck, standing on the outside. People want to get in. People want to know you more. They want to know you better. You have secret admirers. That's just all it is. You definitely have secret admirers. You're a very lovable person. There's something very romantic about your energy. You draw lovers. You draw the kind of romantic lovers in fairy tales that people actually imagine. You know what I mean? People assume that that's the kind of level that they have to be at to be with you. You are confident, and you are the total package. In a lot of ways, I don't blame them for being nervous. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we are on pile number 4. Last but not least, the 9 of Hearts. So the 9 of Hearts is indicative of 9 of Cups energy. 9 of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. You're a very strong manifester. People have watched you pull miracles. Like, there are people who have genuinely have genuinely seen you do things, or seen you go through things. Yeah, the King of Sword with his sword, that griffin, that royal griffin. They've seen you go to battle. Like, you're more than capable of defending yourself. You're more than capable of defending what you care about. And when you care about people, good things tend to start happening to them. You might be considered a lucky charm, or you might have noticed that you have a little bit of luck that happens around the people who you love like that. Like, whenever you're with them, they'll like pick up jewelry or something. Like, they just have better luck when you're around. You act as your own very special lady luck, regardless of how you identify. All right. What more can we know, please, about why people love you? Why do people fall in love with you? You're not afraid to walk away from people. I'm getting that you don't have insanely high standards, but you do have standards for the people in your life. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your energy, and I don't blame you for that at all. There's just this sense that there's still people who are trying to latch onto your energy as you climb your way to the top. And any people who are taken off of your path were taken off of your path for a reason. Sometimes the spiritual team needs to make sure that people get vetted before they get into paradise. You know what I mean? Good things will start happening to you. You might have noticed that pattern too. Like when you cut someone off, when you cut someone really toxic out of your life, everything starts to get better. Like, just in general, you start getting luckier, you start feeling happier. Very strong transformative energy here, not specifically like cleansing transformation energy here. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. You take care of what you care about. You definitely take care of what you care about. There are people who want to be what you care about because they know that you will take very good care of them. You're a very strong person. And the Page of Wands coming out. You're a very strong person, and you still manage to be a child. You still manage, in a good way. In a very good way. You still manage to look at life with wide eyes. You still have hope in you. You still have beliefs that things are going to get better for you. From the Page to the Queen of Pentacles, that's Capricorn energy, long standing energy. 10 of Pentacles, life legacy energy. All right, what more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? All right, strength coming up. I literally just said that you're very strong. Strength. People admire how strong you are. People admire how much you're willing to fight for your beliefs, and it makes people fall in love with you. There's a certain amount of fire to you. Like, there's a lot of fire coming through already with that strength card and that Leo energy. There's a ton of fire to you that people would love to have. Like, people want to know how you work. People want to be around you when you're doing incredible things. You know what I mean? And we've got the King of Cups. You are a badass. People look at you and they see you as a massive badass. They think that you're so cool. They're right, too. That's Leo and Scorpio energy so far. You're very strong-willed. I'm getting that you're very, very strong-willed, and you're extremely loyal. Once someone's in your circle, it takes a lot for them to get kicked out. You care about people to the bitter end unless they screw you over really hard. And it makes people fall in love with you. The fact that you have such a big heart, the fact that you still have such a big heart after everything that's happened, because I am getting that you've likely had problems with people in the past. Like, even with all of that, you're still a wonderful person. You're still a very caring person. You still manage to have hope. You still look at the world through eyes that has hope in it. And we've got the 8 of Coins. You're willing to do the work even if it hurts. Like, she's braiding thorns right there. But she's doing it for a cause, the same way that Tamlin is wrestling a monster here. They're doing it for a cause, you know what I mean? You're a very hard worker, and people love to watch you work. People love to watch you go about your business. You seem like a natural. at what you do and how you handle yourself. There's something very mystical about this energy already. You likely have very, very strong intuition. You definitely have very, very strong intuition. And you probably have some other kind of like, I'm sure, like some kind of like empath or like clairvoyance, like something else going on too. You have very strong mystical vibes coming through already. Very strong 8th house vibes coming through already. Death, sex, magic, the occult. You know what I mean? The 8th house dives deep into the taboo, into the things that we don't want to talk about. You have so much strength. It is absolutely like it's one of the things that people remember most about you, that you are an incredibly strong person and that you're damn good at what you do, regardless of what that is. And we've got the 7 of coins in reverse. So typically the 7 of coins upright would indicate doing work and receiving nothing for it. You know what I mean? Or putting in the work and waiting for the fruit to come through. The 7 of coins reversed takes out that waiting time. You will grow really quickly. You definitely grow very, very quickly. And people are very awe-inspired by the fact that they can't look away from you without seeing you move on to something new, without missing seeing you turn on to something new. You know what I mean? You are a very unpredictable person in a lot of people's eyes, and they absolutely love that. They love that you're adventurous. They love that you're so kind. They love that you're such a hard worker. Very strong work hard, play hard energy here. Like, you have the strength to do the incredible, and you also have boundaries because you have standards for people being in your life. And we've got the 10 of Wands. You're capable of carrying so much too. The traditional 10 of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck has a man, his back to the camera, or his back to the card picture, and he's holding a bundle of 10 sticks and trying to hold them up the whole time by himself. The 10 of Wands can be a burden card, but you are capable of growing even out of death. Look at how that tree is growing out of that skull. When bad things happen to you, you take it in stride and you move forward. And that resilience, it makes people fall in love with you just off the bat. People who wrote you off, people who thought that you could never do it. You have fans out of haters now because you proved your point. Yeah, whatever you do, you're very, very talented at it. Even if it's just a hobby, even if you would just consider it to be like something that you do on the side, whatever passion you have, whatever talents that passion leads to, you're very, very good at it. You're an incredibly naturally skilled person. You learn very quickly too. All right. What more can I know, please? What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? The Hanged Man coming up right over Tamlin. Both of these cards are of sacrifice. 2 different kinds of sacrifices, but both of them, their images, their stories involve sacrifice. Odin sacrificing himself to gain the runes and knowledge. Tamlin fighting to rescue the love of her life. You are... And the Hanged Man is such an incredibly mystical energy too. Again, you give off such a strong vibe. Like, people, I'm getting that there are people who want to be like you. Like, you have fans. There are people who are so impressed with how you've handled yourself and what you've done with your life. Again, fans out of haters. There are people who did not think you'd be able to do it. And we've got the 2 of Wands. And despite that, you make really good choices. You follow your intuition, I'm getting, so it doesn't make sense to the people around you when they try to give you advice. And it can be frustrating for them when you don't take that advice, and then you end up winning because you were right the first time. You know what I mean? You're very smart and conscientious with the choices you make and the battles that you pick. It makes you a very kind, understanding, empathetic person. People don't feel judged around you. They can come to you without feeling like you're going to judge them or throw them under the bus. People trust you. It's really a wonderful, wonderful thing. You have very good intuition and you use that to help the people around you. And we've got the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords coming up right over the Eight of Coins. Both of them going through their own types of pain, right? You are able to work through anything. You keep your... I'm getting that you don't take your anger out on anyone else. You don't take your emotions out on anyone else. You're very, very good at walking through what you're doing and processing it yourself. You know what I mean? When you need time alone, when you need to be by yourself, you're very good at separating yourself until you're ready to get back to work again. And we've got the Magician. And the Magician lines up right under the Seven of Coins, right? Like, there's magic in how you work. There really is. It's a special system, I'm hearing. Like, you're being rewarded for the life that you've lived. You've lived a really good life. You're a good person. And despite what other people might want to make you think, the universe is going to reward you for that. Good things do happen to good people in time. And good things will happen to you. You are in a very strong manifestation energy right now. Be careful with how you spend your time and how you spend your thoughts. Things can manifest from you without you even trying right now. You're a very, very strong manifester, and you're like in your power right now. And we've got the Lovers. Aw, people think you'd be the ideal mate. People think that you'd be you're such a hard worker, you're so caring, you're so loyal. They're right. You would be a great person to be in a relationship with. There are definitely people who want that from you. There are definitely admirers that you have who would absolutely love to be given a chance. And we've got the Five of Coins. The Five of Coins typically is depicted by two figures who are alone by themselves out in the church. This Five of Coins only has the little match girl, though. You don't let people stay out in the cold. You're very understanding. You're an incredibly understanding, empathetic person, and you don't judge people. They fall in love with you because they can be themselves around you. People can be safe and feel safe around you. You're also very, very pretty. We've got the fairy godmother representing Cinderella. We've got Beauty from Beauty and the Beast. And we've got Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. 3 princesses. People love you because they feel like you are royalty. And because you're just very attractive. There's no getting around that. You're very, very... The word pretty comes to mind. Regardless of how you identify, you have a really great facial structure and a really nice body. Kind of like a Disney princess. Alright, what more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? Why do people fall in love with you? Alright, we've got Hope. Lining up right over Tamlin and Sleeping Beauty. Hope. Your outlook on life, the way that you view things, it's a ray of sunshine to people, I'm hearing. The fact that you're capable of holding the guard, the fact that you're capable of holding hope in your heart in bad situations, in bad times, it's incredibly inspiring to people. You inspire people to be their best selves. You inspire people to actually live a life that they're happy living. You know what I mean? And we've got Thought. Right over the King of Cups, and very specifically, the Two of Wands. You think everything through. You're an incredibly intelligent person, and you're really good at weighing all your options. And you come out on top of it. Like I said, you have very strong intuition. You're very good at following your intuition. The way that she's blindfolded here, like, you have very strong intuition, and you just need to, like, Thought here means more of like a meditate thing. You just really need to like meditate on it and you'll find your way. It's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a gift. And we've got fortune. It's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a gift. People love you because, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning, you're very lucky. There's something very lucky about you. There's something very lucky about the way that you live your life. You know what I mean? People feel like if they stick with you, they can definitely make it to the top. And they're not totally wrong. You are a very, very strong, very, very blessed person. And you're capable of self-regulating in a way that most people aren't. The fact that you're capable of doing the work, but knowing your limit, and then going through and separating yourself so you can be alone when you need to recoup. You know yourself very, very well. And you follow your intuition to a T. And it never leaves you wrong. It never leads you wrong. Other people can't have your intuition, however. They can only have you. So people definitely want to be on your team and on your side. And I'm getting that people watching you work, watching you just live your life, watching how compassionate you are, watching how wonderful you are to people who really need it, it makes them fall in love with you. It doesn't matter how hard it actually is. You make work, you make the effort you put in look flawlessly effortless. Like, you just exude so much confidence around people. At least that is how it comes off. People feel like you hold yourself with extra confidence, and they're really attracted to it. People really love that about you. And we've got the friend card. And the friend card pops up right over the magician, who's the fairy godmother who helps out Cinderella, right? You're a good friend. You're a very, very good friend. You care about the friends that you have. You care about the people who you love. It's people want to be in your inner circle because of it. I was just saying that. Like, people really want to be, they want to be in your glow radius. You just vibe super, super great. And people want to be a part of that. They want to experience that kind of thing. Experience that kind of thing. People want to experience you. And we've got the foe. The foe coming out to look at the friend too. You definitely deal with jealous people and jealous energies. Conversely, however, there are people who really like that about you. Like, there are people who really actually genuinely love the fact that you are not, that you attract that kind of attention. You know what I mean? Because you have to be doing something right if you have haters. And you have people who hate on you for absolutely no reason. And there are also people who are more than willing to call out the fact that they're doing it for absolutely no reason. Know that you are very well loved, regardless of how, like, certain people might talk to you or the minority might say things. Know that you are incredibly well loved. People absolutely love you and they want to be on your team. All right. What more can we know, please, about why people fall in love with you? All right. Got house. I'm getting specifically that you keep a nice house. Like, people feel very welcomed at your house. People would love to come over. There are people who want to, like, whether it's platonic or romantic, there are people who really want to be a part of your life. And they would really love to be invited to your home. You know what I mean? Haughtiness. I'm getting that you may have dealt with being mischaracterized once or twice in your life. Haughtiness coming out right over the thought card, and specifically the King of Cups. There's this sense that because you hold yourself so well and other people almost consider you a type of royalty, that you're obviously going to be a bad person. Like, you might deal with people misconstruing your personality without ever actually meeting you because of that. Assumptions that they have made just because you're beautiful, just because you're smart, just because you have everything going on for you right now. Oh, and malady. You take care of people. People love you because because you're willing to take care of them. There are definitely people out there who I'm getting you haven't talked to in forever, you haven't been around in forever, they still remember you and they still remember your kindness. There are definitely people out there who remember how there are definitely people out there who remember how you cared for them when they were at their lowest. There are people out there who wish you nothing but the best. There really are. You have fans all over the place because you're a good person and you've held yourself like a good person for this long. You know what I mean? A lifetime's worth of having people push you around or having to deal with trauma, and you're still, regardless of how old you are, coming out on the other side a better, more rounded person. You know what I mean? And people love the fact that you'll take care of them and that you'll explain things to them and that you're open and honest with them. You're so authentic. People absolutely fall in love with how authentic you are. And we've got the messenger coming out right over friend. Expect a message coming through soon from someone else. I'm surprised that the reunion card didn't pop out too, actually, because there are definitely people who want another shot with you. There are definitely people who regret the fact that they've burnt that bridge. So expect some kind of reaching out happening soon. And we've got the child. You see everything with fresh eyes. It's so inspiring to people. You see absolutely everything with big, bright eyes, and it makes people want to look at the world the same way. Regardless of how you have been treated or what you've gone through, you still look at the world as a beautiful place. And it makes people more grateful. Your gratitude rubs off on people around you. It makes them more grateful. And it changes them. Like, when people start to become more grateful for their life rather than, like, heavily pessimistic about that, it can change them into, like, a better person, frankly. There are definitely people from your past who took that lesson. Maybe they have changed into better people. Either way, they still see you as the end goal. Child coming out, especially for a romance, especially if this is like an ex-romantic partner, indicates the fact that they definitely want to try a serious relationship with you again. And we've got the widower at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, whatever you put to sleep, it's being resurrected right now by somebody. Someone wants you back. Someone definitely wants you back. Expect some kind of message coming through soon about that. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye.